So, hi everyone. My name is Shruti Darekar, and I'm the product manager at Amoeboids. And really, thank you for joining for this presentation. So, we are going to discuss how to automate project status reports in Jira. Now, I'll just start with a scenario. Imagine that it's a Friday and you're ready to go home. You're done with your day, you're done with all your tasks, but there's just one task remaining, that is sending the status report to all your stakeholders. Now, what you would do mostly is go to Jira, go through all the issues, pick out the important ones, go through the descriptions, um, write down or format all the issues according to your stakeholders, and create a report out of it, then send it. And last thing to do on a Friday evening, if it is such a tedious and time consuming job, and it's very painful. So to solve the problem, we have created this app, ARNR, and that's what we are going to discuss to how to create these reports in ARNR and how to automate it. So just to get an idea, let me just launch the poll so that we'll know how many of you are actually doing it manually or have already started automating these reports. Okay, there's one for manual, two for manual. Great. This presentation is going to actually be very beneficial for you. Okay, in that case, let's start. So this is our today's agenda. What we are going to discuss are the challenges that you usually face while manually updating these reports and reporting. What are the common issues that you face? Why these reports are very important? What are the different stakeholders? Then how to automate these reports? And again, a live demo of how to create and automate these reports, which will be followed by a Q&A session. So yeah, what are the challenges? Definitely, as I explained the scenario, it's time consuming, going through all the Jira issues, going through their descriptions, understanding them, and those things. Formatting inconsistencies, because you're going to create maybe a PDF, then send it via an email, and there could be spelling mistakes, there could be some spacing issues, and so on. Lack of standardization. The last Friday you had some more time, so you did a good kind of formatting, but then the next Friday when you wanted to send the report again, you don't have much time. So this time the report wasn't that good compared to the last Friday. That can happen. You could obviously, because you're doing it manually, human errors are very common, and there could be some missing data, there could be errors in it. Maybe there's a chance that you will copy one description for some issue into some another one, and so on. There are many errors that are possible when we are doing any work manually. And of course, when you're doing it manually, the delays are for sure, because it is anyway a time consuming process. So your stakeholders are waiting for you, and you have to invest a lot of time in it. And if you don't have that time, because there are many other things that we usually have to do in our work life, so honestly, the stakeholders will keep on waiting for the reports, and the reports are being delayed. So that can create a lot of issues. So, what's the impact? Misalignment between the teams and stakeholders because you're not able to provide them proper reports and on time. Your time is being wasted working on all these reports rather than doing actual work. And because these reports are being very delayed, the decision making is also delayed because obviously the stakeholders are going to go through the report and that's when they are going to make a proper decision. Until and unless they get the report, they are not completely informed and they cannot take proper decisions. So there are different kinds of stakeholders. There could be an executive level stakeholder who needs just the summary of all the issues that you're publishing. And there could be a customer success team or the support team who are going to need a customer facing understanding of that particular issue, not the detailed report of it, like what code changes were made. They just need what impact it is going to have on the customer so that they can assist the customer in a better way. The dev team, they need all the changes. They need all the impacted areas through a code and all those minute details so that they make an informed decision whenever they are making another change in the system. So when you have so many different stakeholders and so many different types of reports that you need to send them, the reports should be clear, they should be structured, they should be easy to read, and there's a need that you need to send it across different platforms. You can send it over Slack, you need to send it over Teams, maybe an email, maybe different formats like PDF, Word, or a presentation. So that's why reports matter very much to all the stakeholders to take all the informed decisions. And we need reports in so many different formats. So that's what we are going to discuss. Now, let me just give you an overview of what ARNR does. ARNR is the app that we are discussing today, which stands for Automated Release Notes and Reports. So what ARNR does is that it fetches all the data that you have already feeded in Jira. After that, it will fetch that data in the templates, the report templates that you have created in ARNR, and then via rules, it automatically send all those reports to your stakeholders. You don't have to do anything. Now, how to do that? The first thing is create a customized template. So there are many options how you can create these templates. I'll be showing that to you in demo. So you can create different kinds of template, customize them according to your needs, according to your stakeholders' needs. Then set up the automation rules. When do you want to send these reports? Maybe weekly, bi-weekly, after every sprint or after every release, after every n number of days or before n days of any release and so on. So set up those automation rules and that's it. Once the automation rule is set, whenever the trigger hits, it's going to share reports with all your stakeholders. So now that that's done, let's dive into the demo of it. I just close this. So the first step, sorry for that. So the first step of using ARNR is that creating the templates. Now there are two ways that you can create a template. You can directly click on the create button. There are multiple templates available: email, PDF, Confluence, Slack, MS Teams, PowerPoint, LinkedIn, and so on, JSON, HTML, Word, and so on. You can even post announcements on JSON. So you can directly select any of the template that you want, click on select, and a template builder will open where you get the base template. And you can use all the macros or the toolbar that we have. The toolbar is mostly similar like how you get it in Word or in Google Slides. So it's very intuitive. And these are the special um, tools that we have introduced. We call it macros. So you can use all these macros to build your template. Or there's an other way, a simplified thing for you guys. That is the template gallery. You can go to template gallery. There are multiple pre-generated templates, a sprint review report, a release planning report, or a weekly customer support, version workload, and so on. You can use any of these reports and just edit them. So I'm going to edit one of these reports. For example, a customer support report. So once you click on the use button, the template is readily available. You can add images and use all the settings that are given here. So I'll just explain how to use these special tools that we have given. So first would be the variables. Now, what are variables? Variables are different kinds of fields that you need to fetch from Jira in your report. So for example, you want to fetch some username, user email, or a project name or a project key, version name, version description for your releases, or there are different variables for sprint as well, for which sprint you're using. So there are multiple variables and all that data is being fetched here once you use these variables. So there are no variables used in this template. So let me just go to another template. Let's use sprint review. So yeah, here you can say for giving an overview of sprint, they have used multiple sprint variables. So sprint name, this is how it's going to look. Then the sprint start date, sprint end date, and so on. Uh, Now, one more thing, that why we are using these variables, because this template creation is one-time process. So once you create a template, you don't need to change it unless you want to change the layout of it or the content of it. Because next time, if you create this template once, you're going to just automate it and keep on using the same template again and again. And these variables will replace with the actual data that is present currently in Jira, which will keep on updating. So that's about variables. Then the next important feature is the JQL section. Now, this is a pre-added JQL section. In JQL section, you can add the heading, description if you want. But what mainly JQL does is that it's a simple JQL query through which you can fetch all the required issues. So for example, here we have given the project ID, the sprint ID, so that we can fetch it for a particular sprint. The type of issues that I want to fetch, stories, and the status category of the issues which are done. So I'm just going to fetch all the issues that are in done, which are of type story and in that particular sprint. The second section of this JQL section is the fields. So um, now that you know that these are the issues that you want to bring out in a report, you also need to specify which all fields do you want to show in that particular report. So now if you have these 5 stories, suppose there are 5 stories in that sprint which are completed. So of these 5 stories, you need key, you need summary, and you need the description. So you can add these fields, and there are multiple other fields that you can add. There is status category, the parent link, multiple custom fields that you have in your Jira. Those will also be available here. The estimates and so on. You can add a number of fields, and there are different layouts. So, how do you want to present this data on your report is also selectable. So you can represent it in a table format, you can represent it in a sequential format, or in a grid format. There are three different formats. In table, you don't need to specify anything. Uh, One more thing, that is you can group by feature. So if you want that these 5 stories, but I want to group it by priority. So high priority would be first. Maybe there are 2 high priority stories. So those will be listed first, then the medium, and then the low priority. So you can even group by, and you can decide the flow, the order of the issues that you want to specify. Then there is sequential layout. In sequential layout, you can specify how do you want it to be shown in a sequential layout. So you just need to specify the variables that you have selected in the earlier field. So once you specify these variables in the layout that you want and just click on insert, it is going to show it in that way. Or a grid layout. In grid layout, there are cards. So each issue will be shown as a card, and this is the layout of the card. Now, this is a temporary layout. Whenever you are adding new fields, you can obviously edit this card and get the expected results. That's the GQL section. The third most important tool is the stats and charts. So why stats are used is that if you want a particular count of issues. So for example, here, they're showing count of how many stories are there in this particular sprint. And you just select what do you want. Here they're showing the count of total number of tasks, and select count so that you can get total number of tasks here. And along with this, there is one more option that you can use, that is charts. So instead of type, instead of stats, if you select bar chart, again, give the similar kind of JQL, that if you want stories or tasks or whatever issues do you want to fetch, specify what you want on the x-axis. It can be priority, it can be maybe time spent, it can be the issue type, or there are multiple options that you can choose from. And on the y-axis, there will be the count of these issues that you have selected. And in this way, you can you can create a bar chart as well. And there are additional formatting options available as well. So once you have used all these tools, created a template out of it, and save it, you can either preview it. I'm sorry for that. Each template has a unique name. So unless and until you give a unique name, it's not going to get saved. So once you save it and click on preview, it's going to ask you for the variable that you have specified. So here, because it's a sprint review report, it's asking for the sprint ID. You can select the board, you can select the sprint, and then click on preview to preview it. Now, I'm not going to preview it right now because I have some pre-created templates that I'm going to show you. So how we create, how this sprint review report was created. There are other reports like weekly customer report as well. Again, now these all are the variables that were used. This is the project name variable. This is the current date variable. Then this is the report period. So again, here the variable was used, current date minus maybe 7 days generated. So this is the username, all the stats that were used, images that were added. Again, these are the stats. This is how the bar chart looks. So the component that you have selected, it can be priority, issue type, or any custom field that you want to be added here. And on the y-axis, you will see the count of it. So the bar chart. This is the sequential layout. So here, this was the sequence that was stated in the JQL section. So that's how you have gotten all the um, issues. And all this number, the counts that you can see here, comes from the stats macro. Similarly, again, this is a table in which all the stats macros are used. So this is the weekly customer report. We also have the ITSM weekly major incident report. Again, you can see there are multiple variables used. You can add multiple images. This is the grid layout, the card structure that I told. So you can specify what kind of card structure you want, and that kind of cards will be available in your report. This is again the same daily stand-up report, but in a PPT format. So you can even create PPTs automatically out of uh, by using a template. And each slide will contain one issue out of it. Let's see. There are a few more PPTs. The bug tracking resolution report. Again, all these are the images, and on top of images, we have added stats and the other content. These are also the stats. Again, these are the cards that were added by adding images, and then here these count. The count can keeps on changing depending on the stats that was added and the issues. So you can create multiple such templates. There are even additional settings available in advanced settings where you can select which kind of layout do you want, whether you want it in portrait or in landscape. You can select the paper size. You can select the margins. You can add a title page because the content will be in the middle. But if you want to add a separate title page, you can add that. You can add an image to that title page. Similarly, there will be an last page as well. You can add header and footer. You can even use all the variables in headers and footers. So here you can see this is a sprint review report of this particular sprint name should also come in the header. So that's what we have added here. And in footer, you can add the page number by also again adding a variable. Even here you get this variable selector from where you can add all the variables that you need and your company link. So now that you know how to create these templates, the second most important thing is setting up a rule. So to set up a rule, all you need to do is go to the rules tab, click on create, and a page will open where you just need to give a name to your rule. automated trigger and save it. That's all. So once you have saved the rule, you can see the rule is enabled and there are multiple triggers in this rule. So whenever you create a rule, either you can run it manually if you want to run it whenever you want and there is no fixed schedule for it, then keep it as manual. Or else what you can do is there are multiple triggers that are available. You can use any of the trigger. So here, version created, that is whenever you create a new release, maybe there's a possibility that you want to share an update with everyone that, okay, this release was created and these are the issues that are going to be included in this release. So if you want to send that kind of report, you can select the version created trigger. So whenever you create a new version, all the issues in that version will be fetched and the report that was created will be sent to your stakeholders. Similarly, if you want to send reports after you mark any version as released, then there is version release trigger. If you want to schedule it n days before the release, so maybe you want to share an overview of what you have achieved in this release before 2 days before the release, so you can do that. You can set the number however you want, and that's how this trigger will work. Also, you can set up a time zone. So imagine that you're going to release maybe 2 days later, and today you have a meeting to see is if everything is on track. Do we need to do any um, movement in the release, maybe move some issues forward, or you think that there are some more issues that we can actually handle in this release, something like that. And you have a meeting at 10 a.m. and you want to send this report to all your stakeholders or all the participants of that meeting at 8 o'clock in the morning. So you can automate it, set the time, set how many days before you do you want to send this report, and exactly at that time this rule will be triggered and the report will be sent. Schedule at an interval. So again, similarly to the previous use case, if you want to share some reports every day or every week or maybe bi-weekly, you can specify the cron job, and according to that, this rule will keep on triggering after every specific interval, and all those reports will be shared. Similar to how version created and version release, these two triggers work. There is sprint started and sprint completed also, these two triggers. So whenever you click on sprint started, whenever you select this trigger, whenever you are going to start a sprint, all that reports will be sent. Whenever you mark any sprint as completed, these reports will be sent. And the most important, there's a webhook. So what webhook does, suppose you want to send or trigger this rule whenever you are going to deploy anything. So you can get a webhook link by saving it as webhook trigger and integrate that link with your deployment script. So whenever you're going to run your deployment script, all these rules, that actions that you're going to specify in this particular rule will get triggered and you will get the results. So now I've explained all the triggers to you. I'll just show you how to add actions. Now this is a previously, like I've already generated all the actions, but how you can add the action is by clicking on add actions pop. So this pop-up will open and you can add multiple actions. Email, Confluence action, there's a release page. If you want to post any PDF or Word template maybe, to an external endpoint. That is, if you're using some another knowledge base application and you want to post it there, or maybe you just want this report to be posted in your big bucket as well, because you want to keep a track of what all things were released and what are the descriptions of it and so on. So you can use this particular action. Similarly, you can there are multiple actions: send to Slack, send to MS Teams, publish to social media. Here you can post it on LinkedIn and so on. So you can select any of the action, just click on select and that action will be added. Let me show you some actions that I have already added. So email. Once I add the email action, I need to specify the action name and select the email template that you have created. So all the customized templates that you're creating, all the email templates will be listed in this drop down and you can select any one of them. In email template, you can send multiple attachments. So you can send a PDF attachment, Markdown, JSON, HTML, MS Word, or a PowerPoint presentation. All these reports can be added as an attachment in an email action. Then you need to specify uh, via which domain do you want to send these emails. You can use the default domain, or you can also integrate your own SMTP to send these emails, and select the users that you want to send these emails. So there could be according to Jira project role, Jira groups, issue users, or you can just specify all the email addresses manually and so on, and just click on save. Similarly, there's a Confluence action. You can just select which instance do you want to, because we allow 3 Confluence instances to be added. You can select any of the instance that you want, select the space. Again, you need to select a template, Confluence template, and then choose the destination. Now that you have already selected the source of the Confluence template, choose the destination of the Confluence template. Again, the same thing, you need to choose the space. What you want to do? Do you want to create a new page? Do you want to update if the page exists? Do you want to append the already existing page, or do you want to prepend the already existing page? Maybe you're just maintaining one Confluence page which you need to keep on updating uh, after every release. So all these actions are available. You just need to select the parent page ID and all the other required fields and just click on save. Similarly, there is Slack. So again, you just need to integrate Slack with ARNR, which is a simple integration. Just select the template. Again, every time you any action that you are adding, you need to select the report template that you have created. Select the connection, select the channel that you want to send this to, and just click on save, and all these actions will be saved. Whenever you will run this rule, all these actions will run one after the another. So you can run these reports manually or by using a trigger. I'm not going to run this report right now because I have already run it once, and I'll just show you what kind of result do we get once you run the report. And I'll also show you how the trigger works. But whenever you run any rule, whether it can be manually or by a trigger, you can come to the log step tab and you can see all the details of the rule that was run. So the just right now I showed you this rule that was automated reports, which was triggered manually. All the actions that are added in this particular rule, all the variables, that is, I was using version variables, so they have the version name will be visible here, who triggered it, when was it triggered, and what was the status of it. So you can see there was email action and all the attachments are here. So you can just open any of the attachment from here. You can also view the email that was sent. So this was the email that was sent. This is the PDF that was attached to the email. And this is a new report. So you can see how well you can add those images. You can be as creative as you can. Then, yeah, the Confluence page. So there are multiple templates that are available on Confluence as well. You can use any of that template, or you can just create your own template. And then this is one of the pages that was just created using the rule. Or a Slack message, as you can see. Code wave release note, the date, the content, whatever you want to add. Hello there, we are glad to inform that the latest version is out. You can add this summary, can add all the version details. So there were two stories. You can see there is the summary of it, what was the priority, what's the status of it. Then there were multiple bugs. So all the list of those bugs, everything is added. You don't need to manually enter anything. So this is how a rule runs. Now let me show you how a trigger runs. So this is another, okay, not this one, sorry. Yeah. So this is a rule that I made for running a trigger for version release. So whenever I'm releasing any version, this rule is going to get triggered. And I've added an action. It's an email action. I've added an email template and also added an attachment of a PDF template. So as you can see, because I have selected a trigger here, there is no manual run button. Whenever any rule is set as manual, only then you will see the run button, because this rule is supposed to be triggered only when any release is published. That's why you can see there is no manual run button. Now, if I go to the releases, and I have this release, which all the issues are completed, and I want to mark it as release. So I'll mark it as released. And now, if I go to my logs tab, you can see the trigger has been automatically working, and this email will be sent shortly. The rule is in progress. If you want to see if it's done or not, you can just refresh the page. Yeah. So the email was sent along with the uh, PDF attachment that you can see here. So this is how you can even automate all kinds of rules. You can be creative with it. You can do multiple combinations, multiple actions, multiple triggers. So it depends on your use case, how you are going to use it. So yeah. Coming to the best practices for this effective reporting, I would suggest that you keep your reports as simple as possible. I mean, you obviously can be as creative as possible by adding more images, by adding more and more elements that you want. But when I say keep simple and keep concise, you can use charts to make your data look better. You can use the summaries to highlight the main issue, or just give an highlight of overall report. Uh, these are the best practices that you need to follow. And mostly, you can customize n number of reports. In template gallery, there are just few reports that were created. You can create n number of reports using all the tools that are available according to your use case. There are also AI features that I'll just show you, just a touch up on all those AI features that you can use. Because sometimes it happens that there are descriptions, you need to read those descriptions, again, rephrase it. So you can just rephrase it using AI options that are available in ARNR. And yes, obviously, once you have set up all this automation, you can start sending these reports regularly and on time. Let me just sorry. Let me just give you an overview of the AI generator. So what AI generator does is that it will fetch all the issues via JQL. For example, I'll say fixed version equals to V2. I want to fetch all the issues that are available in fixed version. There is a default prompt, there is a custom prompt. In custom prompt, you can manually give whatever prompt you want. You don't need to select any kind of tone or action, but in default, there are different options. You can select the option like summarize or rephrase. What kind of tone do you want? How many words do you want? Which language do you want it in? And the input field. So maybe you want to take the description and store the output result in some other custom field. And these are the issues that you want to fetch. So if I click on get release note suggestions, yeah. So for all the issues that are in this particular version, the description was fetched, and according to that description, a short summary was created for all those issues. Now you have different options. You can modify the suggestion, or you can choose if you want to keep the existing content that is already available, or use the suggestion as it is. There are multiple options. So for me, I'm just going to select all the issues, select as use the suggestions as it is, and click on update option. So now this suggestion is directly stored into your Jira issue. Okay. So now we are open for question answers. Any questions?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Apologies if you missed this. Did you licensing costs? What's the structure of licensing cost, or is there not any?
Sorry, your voice is low. I'm not able to hear you properly. Could you please
Uh,
repeat the question?
Yes, it's a problem with Google Meet. 1 second. Bear with me.
Mm.
Okay, 1 second.
So,
Okay.
basically, James is asking about the pricing.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can go on the marketplace and look at the pricing. And also you can contact our support team for a proper demo of this app and also get more information on the pricing and licensing on it.
So
So, to be quick
is it not,
on
sorry, is it not included in our existing, if we're an existing paid for account on ARN, is ARNA an additional charge?
uh,
Yeah, so there are two options here. You can use the ARNR free app that is available in the marketplace, on the marketplace. It will it has all the features that are there in the paid app. The only limit is on the rule that you can execute only 5 rules per month. So that's the only limitation. You can go and check out the free app. And if you want to execute more rules, because there are multiple reports that you need continuously, then you can go to the paid app, which is also available on the marketplace.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
additionally, James, just wanted to ask, like, I assume you are on the Jira cloud, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So what we will do is after this call, we will send you some links. Like Shruti mentioned, if you think that you need very limited executions, we will share. You can, opt for the free app, which has all the features similar to paid version. It's just that there are some limitations in terms of, for PDF reports, you will see watermarked PDFs or a limited number of executions per month and so on. Mm, if you need unlimited executions of the rules in action, you can opt for the paid app. So after this call, we will share the pricing links with you because the pricing depends on your Jira user tier. And we will also share other links like documentation, paid and free app marketplace links, and so on. And then we can
Okay,
continue that discussion over the email.
okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, and if needed, we can get on a separate call on your request. So that should be not the problem. Yeah,
Sounds good. Thanks.
yeah, yeah. Continue, Shruti.
Yeah. Thank you, Anu. Any other questions?
I have a question. I know that once you have the template, you can automate the report. Now, there are times where I may have to use different times where I'm closing a sprint. Sometimes I may close it at a 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and sometimes I may close it at 4:30. Does that affect the template being run if the times is changing when I am opening and closing a sprint?
No. It does not matter at what time you're opening or closing the sprint. Anytime you hit the start or end sprint button, that's when the rule will be triggered.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
Just a
Sasha,
great presentation. So thank you so much for doing it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, Shruti, there was
Yeah.
one note from Sasha that presentation froze up. So, Sasha, I hope you were able to hear us, right?
Yeah. I'm back now, but it froze like a couple of minutes probably, so I didn't know if it was just me or everyone. But it's recorded, so I'll check it back.
Yeah, it is recorded because since couple of last few minutes we are on Q&A slide only, but we were discussing the participants' questions. But yeah, still we will share the recording with you all. Yeah.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Okay. I'll take it as a no.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, what's next? You can download our app start automating your reports, try out new reports. You can start with the free app if you want for the start. And yes, you can obviously connect with us via support, and Anu will be there for you can schedule an proper demo with Anu, and she can explain you how to use these templates, how to customize these templates, and how to customize rules according to your particular use case. Because right now, mostly what I explained was just an overview how you can do it. But if you want to know how to do it according to your particular use case, you can schedule a demo with us. And yes, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.